Hey, it's Scott, and welcome to my channel, San Marcos Makes. Today we are making beef with broccoli, but this isn't your food court beef and broccoli. This is the at-home version that you will really enjoy. Super simple, takes about 30 minutes, and we are amping it up using Wagyu beef. So first we're gonna talk a little bit about the meat. So you're looking for a beef that is suitable for stir frying. Believe this is round steak that is cut by the butcher really thin. If you cannot find the stir fry meat, you could easily use a ribeye, sirloin, and then slice it as thin as you can get it. You don't want a ton of fat. The Wagyu that I'm using does have a little bit of fat. You also want to think about when you eat it, how big of a piece you want. So this one is in these longer strips, so I will probably cut these in half so they're a little easier to eat, but you don't want to make real thick pieces of meat. You don't want to have to chew these real big. One process that we don't do a lot in America is washing the meat. This will help with the tenderizing. So I've got some nice ice cold water or cool water. I'm gonna put all the meat in there, and I'm going to very vigorously stir this around and kind of clean the meat. This will also help separate it. We will be drying this off, but you want to get this nice and washed. After you have rinsed it, we're going to drain the liquid through a fine mesh strainer. You're going to squeeze out the water. So just grab the meat, and squeeze it out. It's gonna take about 30 seconds. Try to get all the liquid you can out of it. You'll absolutely notice that the meat changed colors. It was that very bright red, now it is a dull red. You probably don't see that as well on the video, but you will definitely see that in person. So the next process is also a tenderizer. So you're gonna use half of a teaspoon of baking soda and sprinkle that in the meat. Then you're gonna massage this all throughout the meat. Getting that all in there, squeezing the steak meat. But do this for about 30 seconds really before you start putting in the other components of the marinade. This is really gonna make this meat much tender. Make sure none of the pieces are sticking. So the other items you need for the marinade, we're gonna take half tablespoon of kosher salt, half tablespoon of sugar, I'm saying tablespoon, but it's definitely a teaspoon. Half a teaspoon of cornstarch. Next, we're adding soy sauce. 1 teaspoon of soy sauce. 1 teaspoon of Shaoxing wine. And then 1 teaspoon of toasted sesame oil. Once you have them all in there, again, you're gonna mix. Now, as far as how long to let this set, at least let it set for 15 minutes. We'll put this in the refrigerator and get our other ingredients ready. Okay, so when the meat is marinating, you need to get all your other ingredients ready. So we're definitely need the broccoli, so we're gonna cut the broccoli up. If you have long stalks of broccoli, the very end is gonna be a little bit chewy, but this middle section is really good. But I would peel it, cut it up to good sized pieces. 1-inch pieces is what you're looking for on the broccoli. You also want to mince some couple cloves of garlic, good tablespoon of ginger, and I like mushrooms in my beef and broccoli, so I'm gonna also dice up some mushrooms. If you don't like mushrooms, don't put mushrooms. No big deal. The mushrooms for mine and the broccoli will get blanched. So also get a pot boiling of water. So you you can cook all of this ahead of time. So we are starting to make our sauce. You want to make this again ahead of time. So I am starting with about 3 tablespoons of oyster sauce. My preferred brand. You can find this in most supermarkets. Then we're gonna add about a tablespoon of the other ingredients. So this is gonna be light soy sauce if you can find it, or regular, I have a favorite brand, not sponsored, Kikkoman soy sauce, or a light soy sauce. And I'm not meaning light as in low salt. You also want to add dark soy sauce, much thicker, a little bit sweeter soy sauce. Then we're gonna add a tablespoon of sugar. We're gonna add 2 tablespoons of Shaoxing wine. An ingredient that I never thought I needed was this Shaoxing wine. I thought I would never use this bottle, and every time I'm cooking something Asian, this is going in there. I highly recommend this, and it wasn't expensive. $3 or $4 at most Oriental markets, you'll be able to pick this up. So after you got all those ingredients in the bowl, you just want to whisk this. So let's go over the prep real quick before you even get the wok hot. We have the meat that's marinated. We have the blanched vegetables. So after I boiled them for just 1 minute, put them out on a cookie sheet to kind of dry. They don't have to be dry, but definitely the less liquid in the wok is going to be your friend. This can be done ahead of time. Like, these are not hot. We're going to cook them in the wok. And then the sauce, the ginger and garlic, about a tablespoon, or a couple teaspoons of each, and then a cornstarch slurry. Have everything ready to go. And I like to keep mine in order so that I know without having to think about what do I grab next. Also, very helpful if you're wok frying to have a squeeze bottle of neutral oil, whether it's vegetable, canola. You're also gonna want some kind of bowl to transfer foods back and forth. So we're gonna put this on full blast high. We're gonna let this wok come up to temperature for about 3 to 4 minutes. We want it smoking hot. After the wok has heated for a couple minutes, you want to put your oil in, basically coat the bottom, a couple tablespoons, and use your oil to see your temperature. If it's lightly smoking, let it go just a tad longer. One other thing that we're going to do, we're going to be cooking in batches. So in my bowl, and you could have 2 bowls, I've equally portioned this, just by eye. That way I don't even have to think about it. I know how much I need to grab. I'm going to get the oil all around my pan. And we're going to take half of the beef, get it in the pan, and we're going to stir fry them. So fan it out just a little bit, get a little color to it, let it set maybe just for 30 seconds, and then you're going to start stir frying. So you see it's starting to get a little bit of color. All right, once we got it to the doneness that we want and the color that we want, we're going to use the bowl and get it to the side. I would wipe this out just with a paper towel. It does not have to be perfect. Just don't want anything burning. More oil, and we're going to add the rest of the meat. We will cook this batch the same way as we did the first batch. All right, after the second batch is done, we want to wipe it out, put some more oil in, and we're going to do the exact same thing to the vegetables. Half the vegetables will go in now, or broccoli, whatever you're using. And then the other half will go after. Gonna stir fry these for about a minute, 2 minutes, somewhere around there. Get a little bit of color on them. Remember, these are already blanched, they're cooked. It's just getting all the excess moisture out of them, plus maybe getting just a little bit of color. All right, so this is cooked for just maybe over a minute. And we're gonna put this right back in the same bowl with the meat. Add a little more oil, about a tablespoon. And we're gonna add the other half of the vegetables. All right, after you've got the last batch of broccoli, we're gonna return everything so far we've done back to the wok. And we're gonna stir fry this just for a couple seconds, just to kind of get it mixed up. But we're also gonna add our ginger and garlic to the mix. So add that ginger and garlic. Still on high heat. And a lot of times my thin one, I need to get a better one. Once it starts getting too big, I can't use it. So it's just too flimsy. I gotta get a better one. So we're gonna stir fry this all together for just about 30 seconds. Everything is cooked at this point. Only thing we got to do left is the sauce. All right, right before I put the sauce in, I'm gonna make sure everything is down on the sides. I'm gonna pour my sauce just around the sides, as much as possible. And then I'm gonna stir fry that just for like 10 seconds to kind of coat everything I can. Make sure everything is coated before you put the cornstarch slurry in. Now, if you made your cornstarch slurry earlier, it will have separated. So just simply mix it back up. And we're gonna add this straight to the food. Also on the outside, doesn't seem like a lot, but that will thicken that sauce quick. And we will cook this just for maybe 30 seconds to a minute, just to give that sauce a chance to thicken. If the sauce is still too thin, you can add a little more cornstarch to it. If it's really thick, maybe that's a good thing. All right, so it is done. Let's plate it up. All right, finished product. So I'm gonna top this with just some white rice. Put a little of that right on top. A little extra sauce. Let's see how we did. We have a little bit of everything. Most importantly, that Wagyu beef. There's so much flavor going on there. The beef is so tender. The broccoli is still firm, but it is blanching helps so much. It doesn't have that raw taste to it. Anybody would be happy to have this. Could definitely, if you want to spice it up, add some red pepper. But this is a easy 30-minute meal that you can make this week. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. But please always remember, beans never go in chili. Okra doesn't go on gumbo, but it is perfectly acceptable to put pineapple on pizza. And wait, I heard a new one. It is perfectly fine to put ketchup on hot dog. It is also good pizza should be able to be folded.